Hello Apple Valley Fab Lab students, it's Mr. Lee, and today what we're going to do is create a heat press file with our print cut machine for making a t-shirt. The first thing that I'm going to do is go to Chrome and search for an image, and I kind of already did that. I put in the child since The Mandalorian is kind of a fun show right now, and what I found was this picture here. It has a really good image of the child, or Baby Yoda as everybody calls him, but what's more important is the background is real uniform, and so that's going to allow us to do a cut contour. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click on this, and then I'm going to save the image, and I'm going to just call it the child. You'll notice that it's a PNG file, but that's okay. I'm going to show you today how to change that so that we can use it in Adobe Illustrator. So I'll save that to the desktop. Next, what I'm going to do is open up Adobe Photoshop, and I'm going to directly open that file, that PNG file. So I'll scroll down to the child. There it is. And the first thing that I'm going to do is make this background a uniform color. So I'm going to select the fill. I'm going to change that to this color. It looks like a good color that's not like anything else around it. Click OK. And then I selected the paint bucket tool, and then I'm just going to dump that into the background. And that looks pretty good. The next step is I'm going to use the magic wand tool, and I'm going to select that green background. Then I'm going to go up to File and Copy, or Edit and Copy. The next step is to create a new file with that clipboard that I just copied to. So I'm going to go File, New. You notice I have in Adobe Illustrator 2020 the option of creating a new file with the clipboard. So I'm going to say Create. And then I'm going to paste that in. So I go Edit and Paste. The next step is to fill in this white area with a black color. So I'm going to go to the paint bucket, select that. I clicked on black. I'm going to hit fill. That's going to be my cut contour for telling the machine what to cut. Last step is I'm going to switch this to white. So I'm going to go down to here and set the foreground color to white, and I'll hit the double arrow switches it, and then I'll select that white background. So now this is ready to be saved. So I'm going to save this as a JPEG on my computer. And you notice it comes up as a Photoshop file for default. Well, I'm going to change it to a JPEG because then I can bring it into Adobe Illustrator and edit it. I'm going to call it the child, and then hit save. I always set this to maximum so that I get the best quality for my JPEG image, since it's a compressed image. The last thing to do is I'm going to return this back to a white background, and then I'm going to save this as a JPEG too, because it's a PNG file, and I don't want it to be a PNG because Adobe Illustrator, I can't place PNG files. So I'll change that to a JPEG. I'll hit save. Oop. I needed to change that other one as a the outline file. So I'm going to change this and put color, because that's my full color image. And then I'll hit save. Same thing, I always change it to the maximum. And now I have my two files ready for using in Adobe Illustrator. So I switch over to Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to make this about 12 by 12 for my height and width. The color type doesn't really matter for the print and cut machine, so I can leave this at RGB or I can do CMYK, but I'll hit create next. The next step, I always turn on rulers, so turn that on for reference, and then that was control and the R key, and then control and the quote key or comma key turns on the grid. And I already have a couple things open. I have my transform window, I have my swatches window, and I have my layers window. I use those quite a bit, so they're kind of a good windows to have open when you're working. You can get those windows open by hitting the window tab and then scrolling down for all these different windows. So the next step is to place the background image, and that one is the JPEG. So I'm going to hit File, Place, and it doesn't really matter where you place this because we're going to move it around eventually. Then I go up to Image Trace, and if you hit the down arrow, you have all the different choices on how to trace it. But this one, I'm going to just use the default because I just want black and white. The blue line means, the blue X means that it's still not part of the file, so I have to, after image tracing, expand. Now it's part of the file. I do want to get rid of this white rectangle, so I'm going to right click on that, isolate the group, and then click on that again and hit the backspace or the delete key. That gets rid of that part of the image. The next step is to outline this. So I'm going to go into Window and then Pathfinder and open up that menu. I'll select the black image, and you can tell that it's been selected because it has the blue lines around it. And then in Layers, you'll notice that it's the only path that I have selected. Then I go into Pathfinder and I'll hit Outline. And that reverses it takes out all of the fill. So you notice that the fill is gone, but the stroke is black. For cutting, we need to make that a command for the machine. So I'm going to select this other swatch library to turn that to the correct color for cutting. But before I do that, I want to make this background to be able to be put on any kind of shirt, any color shirt. So I'm going to do what's called an offset path. And you don't have to do this, but it is kind of a neat trick for making sure that the heat press you put on any color shirt will be viewable. Sometimes the image is not good enough to be seen because it blends into the fabric of the shirt. So I'm going to select that. It's still selected. I'm going to go up to Object and Path, and then go to Offset Path. And you can see it already has the preview open. That's a little bit too big, so I'm going to change it to about 0.05 for the size of it. That looks better. I'm going to leave that. So it made my image just a little bit bigger than the original. What I'm going to do next then is delete the inside portion of it. So I will select that inside path, and I'm going to hit the backspace key or the delete key. Or you could just turn it off too. So you could do that and turn it off, and then the machine doesn't even know it's there. Last thing to do, I selected the path, and I'm going to go to my other libraries and open up Roland VersaWorks. This first button is the cut contour. You notice it changed the stroke to pink, and that's what I want. So that's ready to go. All we need to do is put the colored image in. I am going to do one thing too next. You notice, I just noticed that it has this little cutout in here. I don't really want that. So I'm going to right click on it, isolate or release the compound path. Then I can just select that and delete it. So I'll hit the backspace key, and now I won't have to weed that portion once I print the image. So that looks pretty good. The next thing to do is to bring in the colored image. So I'm going to go File, Place, and go to the child color and hit Place. Same thing, it doesn't matter where I put it because I'm going to arrow it around once I get it put in here. And this time I'm going to do a full color image. So I'm going to hit Image Trace. I'll do High Fidelity Photo. Takes a little bit to do that. And then what I'm going to do next is expand it. And finally take out the white rectangle, because I won't need that anymore. So I'm going to hit Expand. And then I'll right click and isolate the selected group. I'll click on the white rectangle and I'll hit the backspace key or the delete key. This is almost ready to go. I did forget to move the image outline out of the way. We're still in isolation mode, so I'm going to probably have to move that around a little bit. But I'm going to select that, and I'm going to arrow it around so that it, or move it so that it fits right into my cut contour. And you notice, I'll zoom out with the Control and the minus key. I can play around with the positioning a little bit. And I'll probably move it up a little. So I'm using the arrow keys to move it around. And that looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad. So I have this white border. If I zoom in, you can see that the cut contour is this line, and it will leave this white border around it once it's printed and cut. So I'm just kind of scrolling through to look at that. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to double click. Now I'll zoom out so you can kind of look at the whole effect. And this is that one spot that I deleted the cut line, so that'll be white, but that's okay. That doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to, last step is go to Object and Artboards and Fit to Artwork Bounds. Then I save it as a PDF file. I'm going to call it the child. Actually, what we should do is save it how I've told you to save things. So it'd be LEE, capital C for my first name, and then I'm going to call this for my 5th hour class,